Hello, everyone. Welcome. I'm so glad to see everyone here. It's a very special night because not only do we have Brianna for the after party, who is the co-writer and director of the show, we also have Dax. He plays Rob. So Dax Rocker is also with us. Thank you so much for being here with us tonight. Jason was just saying that he thought that was a great show. So maybe something unexpected there. We will see. I hope so. It was a lot of fun. So Jason is here. Left Spin is with us again. Welcome, welcome. Max says hello. Hello, Max. And then also Heather. Hi, Heather. Cthulhu Bob is here. Oh, no. Rob, I hope his gills work. Yep.
Guess we'll find out.
And then we have commentary on the Bearded Dragon as well. So
this is Levi, and it's basically his bedtime, so he's very sleepy right now.
Oh, Shaw Hunter is here too. Good to see you. Glad to see you here as well. Do you want to introduce yourselves and also just say what you've been working on or what you're doing very quickly? I mean, many people have already seen you before, but some other people would might not have. So, Brianna, you want to start?
Sure, I'll keep it brief. I am Brianna. Oh, sorry, little guy. He's trying to cuddle right now. He's so sleepy. So I am a writer-director, as Heath mentioned. I was the co-writer on the Cultists and the director, and then I'm also a novelist. I have a big fantasy book called City of Reckoning, and right now a lot of my focus is on screenwriting. So I have several projects I'm working on, as well as a short film that at some point I'm going to go into pre-production, but I've been focusing on my feature films. So that's me.
All right. And Dax?
Yeah, I'm in a similar boat as Brianna right now. I'm an aspiring screenwriter. I've got some scripts underway. Sounds
like you're a screenwriter then, not an aspiring one.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I mean, if you're writing scripts, I suppose you are a screenwriter, but I want to get some things off the ground. Like I've got a web series that I want to get going. And on top of that, I'm kicking myself over the fact that I had a script, a rough draft for a short film. And this short film was about The Watcher, which is these series of letters that was sent to a mysterious home. Anyway, it's a horror short based on a real event. And I just found out that this month Netflix dropped a series that was exactly about this event. And it ended up being the #1 series on Netflix this month.
Dang.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well,
so you had your finger on the heart of things that people are interested in.
So I guess that's a little encouraging. Yeah.
That's the positive plant.
Well, they say that since there were those, 2 asteroid movies at the same time, there can be
2 Watcher things.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Ryan is also here. Ryan, welcome. Be sure to sign up for the giveaway. Everybody who has just arrived. Vanessa, welcome. We got a whole crew here, even though it is Friday night for Halloween. But I think this is a great way to spend it. Jason says I have the same shirt for Infinite Black. Yeah, this is one of my Infinite Black shirts. This is one of the ones that we made when I was with Infinite Black. This is the Mark of the Necronomicon, and its lore is actually on the Journey to the Tree of Sorrows channel. I wrote it. I
love those shirts. Those are my favorite shirts in your shop.
They're unique because they're like all over prints.
They are. Yeah, this is. Of course, I'm not with Infinite Black anymore, but yes, they are.
You're still advertising it.
But yeah, because we've got the Journey to the Tree of Sorrows logo on the back. So yeah, they're all over prints. I want to do some for Tales of Rabavania. So yeah, I'm not with Infinite Black anymore, but those are with Infinite Black over on the Infinite Black website. Okay. Well, let's bring up the show and let's talk about it then. So we can bring it up here. I think you may have seen what we do, Dax. So if you want to call out, just call out and say stop if we're going by something you want to say. But otherwise, we will we'll get there. We'll stop it periodically. All right. So here we go.
This will get them. When they see this sign, they will walk straight into the lair of Shub, where they will meet their doom.
All right, just pause. I want to comment. I love your cartoonish villainy so much. I really do. Was that your idea? Like your take on Steve? Was that your idea for him?
This is mostly what Heath did. And
yeah.
Yep.
Well, obviously, what he does, he's a cartoonish-like villain anyway. Yeah. But that the hopping off, I think we may have done an extra take of that for a little bit, but that was basically just the thought about what Steve was like right there.
Yeah, I love all the little, like, so much happens in such a short period of time with the little, like, pulling up the hood and
because I remember in season 1, like, you played a character that was just there for a brief interview.
Yes.
And that was the beginning of Steve. Like, we started making jokes about it, and then it became like a real thing.
Right. Yeah, it was credited as Steve. Because originally Steve was actually part of the crew in the beginning, but Steve got dropped, and his lines in the first season got really distributed between, well, probably all 3 of them, but really.
Yeah, he was like a different character at first, but then he changed. He had a different role.
I can see how elements of Steve would go into Rob. That's for sure.
I'm sure some of his lines went to Rob, but yeah, like because his personality wasn't totally there either. But there was still like a little bit of variation in season 1, and so I chose like one of the goofier ones, and then that's where we went with season 2, is making it even goofier than that. So
yeah. I love the cheese. I love the hokiness. That's my thing. That's my thing.
Yeah, and Steve pushes that even further than any of the other characters go.
Yep.
Where's Rob? I don't know, dude. I haven't heard from him. It's not like him to be late. I hope nothing's wrong.
Guys!
Ben, what is it?
It's Rob. We were supposed to come here together, but when I got to his house, I found this.
Friends, the time has come. I can no longer live among the land
walkers. I just want to make a very slight quick comment, because there were a lot of different takes on this, and I wanted this moment to have a lot of energy. So they're like different takes that are spliced together where like people are moving around more to create more of that like, what's going on? Anyway,
I kind of vaguely remember this now, because I was boom operator for this, and like I would have to go at different angles each time. Oh man, that was funny. Yeah.
That's a fun thing, is that even though Rob wasn't around, Dax still was. Dax was
on set for every single day of shooting.
All of the sea is too strong. I go now to eternal life beneath the waves. We're going home. Your friend and protector, Rob. P.S. Don't try to stop me.
We've got to stop him.
You don't think he'd actually...
That's one of our favorite contrasts right there.
It's just so well executed. Yeah, great part on Peter there.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Throw himself into the ocean, do you? Have you met Rob?
We'll never get to him in time.
I'm sorry, that one hit me in a way I didn't expect. I'd heard that before. I've seen this episode before, but it just hit me there.
It's also been a while, I feel like, since any of us have watched it, because we filmed it, and then like even for me, post-production, I feel like was so a long time ago. I'm kind of watching it with fresh eyes now.
Yeah, it was posted first on Vudu, wasn't it?
Vimeo. We put it on Vimeo.
It was on Vimeo. Yeah, it's not currently there now because it's now coming out on here, but it was, yeah.
But I watched all the episodes on Vimeo, and that has now been like a year. So seeing it again is great. Yeah.
You can't put anything past Rob, like,
No.
Right.
Heather says best line, and Cthulhu
best
Bob
line,
also says
say
classic.
Yeah, we can. Okay, I know exactly where he's going. Follow me.
That was also where I wasn't afraid to take damage, and I think that the leaping over was something that Sky wanted to do. Right?
I feel like you were wanting to take more damage. And I was like,
you were. I remember.
Oh, yeah, because he was going to step on me.
Yeah, you were like, they're going to step on me and kick me. And I'm like, no. I think we had a conversation about that.
So he just jumped over and didn't.
I'm always concerned about people's safety. I'm like, we're not doing that.
Yeah, and the way that scene looks, like the cinematography, I'm just sort of reminded of Jackass. It feels like this is a Jackass stunt I'm watching, the way you fall over and get trampled.
Brennan did such a great job with all the like, just his whole camera work. He really matched the stuff with, like, the office and stuff really well. He did a great job.
Yeah, that office vibe is very present.
Yes.
The Office, but also I had not seen Parks and Rec, but Brennan loved Parks and Rec, and apparently we watched it later. We watched some Parks and Rec later. You and I did, but he clearly
it does a lot of Zoom too.
Parks and Rec, yeah. The
comedic Zoom, yeah.
Left Spin says, I saw it there on Vimeo from the Patreon. I believe that was the Indiegogo, because I tried the Indiegogo to try to fund season 3, and we didn't raise enough to do that. That's why we're trying again with Ritual, which we'll talk about again after this. But I'm still thinking about how to do some type of Patreon, because I was hooking some things up. Yeah. But it was probably Indiegogo that was on it. Thank you so much for being with us for that long, Left Spin. I know there are several people who have the mugs and things like that from that, and the coffee.
There he is! Rob!
He looks like he's in a train. He is.
Well, that was one of these other situations where we said, okay, what does Rob think he looks like when he's standing out there?
Majestic.
Yeah.
What do you think Rob thinks he looks like, Dax?
Yeah, I mean, I think that he thinks he's just stoic right now. But to everyone around him, I think he looks absolutely weird.
Well, you know, first of all, he probably thinks that he is at the ocean, because he thinks he's at the ocean. So he's actually seeing like he's out on a pier or something above a great expanse of ocean. And he thinks he looks like a deep one. Like his transformation is fully complete. And so when he's like looking at himself.
Yeah, as far as what I think Rob is seeing when he was out there, I was imagining deep ones beneath me. Like they're out there, they're calling me, and I'm ready to go in with them. Yeah. Yeah.
See, Cthulhu Bob says that I totally expected him to have stuff all over his face. Yeah, we didn't go that route because it's all in his head. It's the delusion of. Yeah,
but he convinced you, so that's great.
Yeah, but that is great.
I think we did we not want to have like a little bit of ambiguity for the audience of like, you know,
on some things.
Yeah.
Like, are there actually deep ones out there?
Well, it's like in the first season, you know, is the Yellow King real or is he not real? You know,
or do the witches actually teleport themselves and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Do
they?
Maybe he sees Devil Reef. Yeah, he could think that he's at Innsmouth looking out on Devil's Reef. Yeah, that could be it too. All right.
Rob, I told you not to try to stop me.
Don't do this.
I've been waiting my entire life for this moment.
Dude, I'm not sure you're ready for life under the sea.
I am more fish than man now. Can you not smell the salt of ocean waters?
Rob, this isn't the ocean. This is a lake.
Soon I will be with Father Dagon and all my kin under.
Doesn't even hear that.
Rob,
complete ignoring.
Yeah.
And this was shot at the same day as the other lake scene.
Yeah,
we were
it's the same
all
location. We're just a little bit further
on
away.
a different part of the lake. Yeah, and this wasn't this. Oh yeah, it was the cold day because we talked about. I remember it being so cold. We were on the other side. I think it warmed up a little bit when we were over here, but it was still real windy.
Yeah.
I want to know.
Please, you can't go.
Oh, sorry. What was that?
I want to know. Sky has that line. I don't think you're ready for life under the sea. We did a few takes of that with him saying "under the sea" like Sebastian from Little Mermaid.
I thought about that as I was watching that. Yeah,
I think he does do it a little bit. I think that take has him doing it in a subtle way.
I didn't quite hear it in the take we got here.
I don't remember what my decision was there. So.
Well, no. I mean, the decision you have is perfectly fine here, but I remember him doing that so many times. Yeah. I had to mention it.
Yeah. People are always like, Brianna, can I do it this way? We can always do at least one take. I'm always like, I really feel like it's good to experiment. So if someone has an idea, like, yeah, let's do it.
You're a very pro experimental director, and that's what's fun about being on set of the Cultists.
Aw, thanks.
Little disciple, there is nothing left I can teach you.
Nothing?
Nothing. You're ready to swim on your own now.
Please don't go. Don't leave me alone.
Father Dagan and I will always be with you.
I just caught buzz here. It's such a little scene, right? Like, you know, I'm just taking off the pen, but I remember this was done many times.
Yeah.
I was about to say, I think I remember us doing this take a
It
lot.
was hard to make it smooth, wasn't it?
Yeah, because I was holding the trident, and then I had to take it off. You have to use both hands to take off that pen.
Yeah.
And so I don't even remember, you know, I don't know exactly what I did just there, but we finally found a way to make that look pretty seamless.
And then some editing helped too. I think there was some
editing,
yeah. Where it was like, I think Brennan was trying to cut that.
That's true. In actuality, that scene of taking it off might have been a little bit longer, but it worked the way it was cut.
Because there's a little bit of like an awkward pause that there.
Grandmother, I am coming!
No!
Which that was the scene, right?
No, because that part was weird to coordinate, like to block. I mean, because like he's standing right there. How does he not? How do they not stop him? They're right next to each other. So that was another weird thing to try to coordinate to make that believable. And it's like just like Peter just kind of not looking at him right before it happens to save that like extra second. So it's a little bit arbitrary, but like that was one of those like a little bit challenging blocking moments. And then I wanted to say too about like, because I was talking earlier about safety. So when we were first testing this location out, I went and did the jump in the lake myself first to figure out where I wanted Dax to climb out. And I'm glad I did, because as it turned out, like climbing back up that spot right there was difficult. And I think I scraped myself up a little bit. So yeah, so that was one of the things. It was really cold. But I'm like, that's my attitude. I'm like, hey, if I'm gonna ask someone to do this, then I want to be something that I better be willing.
Something
to
that you're comfortable doing yourself. Yeah.
Right.
Wait, so there's several things to say about that. Is that I think that when we wrote this scene, we anticipated them being way out there on the pier, like so he goes charging off like like way out into the lake like that,
right.
And so he would have taken off much further away. But we didn't want to take the camera out onto the pier, so we were actually had the camera on the land. So we moved the scene closer to jump off there. And I have the scene where you jumped. I have the footage where you jumped off, Brianna.
Is that going to go in behind the scenes sometime? I feel like it should.
Well, we could play it now.
I'll play it now.
Okay, hold on. Okay, I've got it.
While you do that, I'm going to take the little bearded dragon into his cage and put him in.
Okay.
Everyone say good night to Levi.
Good night, Levi.
Good night, Levi. This is the raw footage of Brianna jumps.
Oh my god.
It says, wait a minute, your browser's having trouble sharing your video. What?
Oh no.
Another Halloween curse.
Oh, no, I got it. Okay. So it looks like this is the cut down one. Okay.
Seeing Cthulhu Bob's comment. Well, we'll come back to that after you play this.
Come on.
Maybe.
Oh, okay. So I think I just cut this.
Do you have to bring the other thing down first? Is that why it's not playing?
No, it says, whoops, looks like your video file doesn't have a video track. Well, yes, it does. I'll try to get that up in just a moment. Once we go through this, I'll try to get that up. Lots of people talking about things. Cthulhu Bob says, I kept expecting him to surface, sputtering and half drowned. Well, we will have to see what happened to Rob.
Because it's like he never comes up for air, and that's another like comedic part of that scene. It's like he should have come up for air by now, but nope. You just never see him come up. And we did that, by the way. We had a separate take of Dax going into the water, and that was different from them sitting there talking. So like they're not doing that while Dax is just holding his breath. We said for that one we threw a big rock to create the.
Oh yeah, that's right. I had the rock.
Yeah.
And in the other scene, the rock went in.
The funny part about it was that so you guys wanted me to hold my breath for as long as I reasonably could. You guys weren't pushing me or anything, but like, since we were only doing one take of this scene,
we only got one take.
Yeah, you guys wanted to see if you could do it without dropping the rock. So I was perfectly, like, I've been able to hold my breath for a minute before. Like, in terms of my lung capacity, I'm not a smoker. I should be able to do it. But the shock of the cold water was I went up for air like almost immediately. It wasn't immediate. It was maybe 20 seconds, but gosh, I was so disappointed in myself because it was like, I know I can hold my breath longer for that. It was just a shock. I don't know.
But it was also the fact that like
yeah,
we can see you in the water, and so it wasn't the same effect either.
Oh,
it's a pretty funny take though, and it's in the bloopers. The actual take of you jumping in, because you're just like, we told them to keep going no matter what, and you're just like obviously there, and they're like, well, he's probably gone now. While you're like splashing.
Yeah. You're making me remember it better. I think why I went up quicker. I was very clear of the fact that I was floating above the surface.
Yeah.
When I was supposed to be out of shot under the water, and it was just so it was so painfully obvious to me that I was above the surface that I snapped out of character and I started breathing. Yeah.
I feel like we should try to find that clip too after this, maybe.
And it was also so cold. Okay, I got her up. So this is the edited version. So this is Brianna. We were there like the week before, and this was cold water.
It was still cold.
And I was filming it.
Grandmother, I'm coming.
I did the same thing immediately after the surface.
Oh my god, that's so cold.
Why did this end like a found footage video?
Because he put it down.
Because I went charging to help get her out of the water. She jumped in, and then like, oh my god, this is so cold. Oh my god.
There? I thought Brennan was there too.
No, this time he wasn't. No, it was just the two of us.
This was just the two of us. Here, I'll show it again.
Grandmother, I'm coming.
Titanic music plays on a flute.
Oh my god, that's so cold.
That's our action director right there. That's our action director. Let me see.
If you could, you should bring up the bloopers if you have it. If it takes too long to do.
No, I think I should be able to get it.
Just to get that
because I was going to play. I'll put up the whole bloopers for the entire thing after the show. But let me see if I can find. We'll scrub. We won't show the whole bloopers because there might be spoilers or something.
Yeah.
But I don't do that. So I'll just scrub to that. Blooper reel. Yeah. Okay. It didn't say the cultist blooper reel. So yeah. There you go. I didn't think about having all these videos ready.
That's all right.
Oh, hopefully it is in a format that this understands. Oh, yep. Okay. Dude, well understood that one. Take that one down. All right, let's see what we go here.
Don't look. Spoilers. Just kidding. I don't think there are any spoilers in it because I think I was intentional about
I mean, if you scrub through them fast enough, you won't know the context anyway. It's not
really
right.
A spoiler.
Here we go.
Go back a little bit.
Okay, right here.
Yeah, because there's two parts.
There are two parts.
Do we go in after him?
No. He's too far off now. Towards C.
The last part, the part at the end too.
It's like they really don't want Rob to come back.
Right, so they had to keep going. So they're like, keep shoot, even though I'm like, oh my god, because I ran like as soon as that happened, I ran out to the pier to try to help you in, and then they're going like, should we help that guy? No, he's
well, you see the producer.
Do we
go close to the end.
No. He's too far off now. Probably swimming towards C.
Him and I are going to the lake.
It's the last clip in the bloopers.
And then I do think it's the last clip. Yep.
Oh, maybe not. No, I forgot that scattered throughout. You just passed another one. I forgot. I put these together. They're like.
I think
he's just like sadly walking away. Props to Peter for staying in character.
Didn't the trident break?
Yes. Yes. It did.
And we were looking for one of your bracers or something that was someplace in the water.
Oh man.
Yeah, there was some. I don't know. Did we find the brace?
I don't know if we did or not. I think I had 2 pairs, and so
it
may just be lost.
May still be there.
I know that rune is still there. If somebody wants to be like a real cultist fan, like go dive down there and get it.
Yeah, there's something else that's thrown down in another episode. So yeah, it's we haven't seen that one yet, but there's something down there.
It in the water. The rune, it's very clearly there. If you show up there on a bright sunny day, you
can steal it. It'll be yours.
Yeah.
Good job, dude. Good job. Yeah.
Everybody celebrates.
I did appreciate that. No, I just want to say, yes, it was cold water, but it was like mid-March, wasn't it? It wasn't like it was January, you know?
Right. Well, I wouldn't have put you in the water in January. That wouldn't have happened.
Yeah. Like, I want to say, if anybody remembers when Sky got the cold bucket of water dumped on him by me in season 1, I, given the choice between the 2 activities, I'm fine with what I ended up doing.
Yeah, that was actually during freezing weather that happened.
Yeah.
Dax, you do have a question from Left Spin, but we'll go to that. Don't let me forget.
Okay.
So Left Spin, I see. We'll answer that afterwards. John, welcome, John. Hollywood would be so disappointed. They don't want you to stop filming if the universe is collapsing in on itself. We try to keep going. And then Drew says, greetings from Australia, fellow cultists. We are enjoying the after show. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Glad we have fans in Australia as well. And, we're doing the best we can here. We're trying to get as much of the word out as we can and do another season. All right, so let's go back to the show here.
He really did it. He wasn't actually supposed to jump. I didn't think he had it in him. He was like a father to me. Should we go in after him?
No.
Reasonable question.
It's too late.
No, should we go in? No, it's too late. Whatever.
Too far off now. Probably swimming towards sea.
You're right.
That brings up an interesting question. What is it that Mike thinks is happening? That like he's just like swimming. He's like way far away. Like, what is he imagining? Like, how fast is Rob swimming right now?
That's a great point, because we said how Ben takes his cue of reality, and so obviously Ben is there in Rob's reality. He accepted that he has gills and all of that and is swimming away. However, Mike doesn't have that same perception of reality, that what actually just happened here.
Yeah,
when he doesn't come up, and Dave as well. Be interesting to ask them.
Yeah, you have a question for Hannah. Did you want to share that right now?
You have a question for what?
No, I mean you said a fan had a question for me.
But it has to do with your like career trajectory.
Okay,
so
we'll do it after the commentary, and then that'll have more time.
Oh my goodness.
Right, and Cthulhu Bob, talks about that too. It's interesting that Mike flip-flops between sensible and believing Rob is probably out to sea by now. So,
because you could say it's not that Mike is delusional, but Mike is a true believer, right? So he wants to believe. He believes that all these things are possible. So he does kind of alternate between being grounded and also thinking things that are pretty goofy.
No.
He does brand him. I mean, he does go all that way. Oh, thank you. Shout outs are much appreciated. Hopefully we'll get a lot more people. Look, I also had to make that crawl many times. Brianna, I don't remember why. Why was that so difficult to get?
It was a framing thing, I think. I think it had to do with getting it to look right. I don't remember exactly, but
the cape. I remember the hood. I think it flew up in your face at one point, didn't it?
Oh, it might have.
Yeah.
But I remember Brianna said, "Okay, where do you want me?" And she was like, "Right here." And she put me in a mud hole. That was like the low part in right here that was soaking wet. So I'm getting wet in the mud, and I had to crawl through that. It was many times.
And the thing was, you mentioned that to me afterwards, and I was like, I didn't even realize I was putting you in the mud. It looked good here. But anyway.
Shelter! I'm saved!
Like that voice.
That's not always the voice, is it?
Like, I feel like in
It's
moments of
Steve's
emotion,
voice.
maybe is that right?
Yeah, well, actually, a lot of times he has the higher pitched kind of whinier voice. And now I did take when I was crawling down here, I took a dunk into the stream. Remember that? I slipped someplace and went into the stream, and with the sign too. And I was like, oh no, I got the sign wet. And is that going to look okay? And, other takes or whatever, because we had to figure out, I got to get down there with the sign, and whatever.
The things that you think are simple never are.
How's it going, Steve?
I tried to sign, but they didn't fall for it. They're too cunning. I just need a little more time. Just a little more time.
I just want to compliment the outfit that Sarah has here. It's just such a good costume design.
Yes. Oh yeah. Well, that's all Megan. Yep. That was Megan. Now the staff I made, and that is a styrofoam head on that staff, which is the Crown of the Night Mother, which I also wrote the lore for, which is on the Journey to the Tree of Sorrows channel, because we created that for the Cult of Shub, and so I put it on her staff.
It looks so yeah.
Left Spin says we could have a spinoff of social workers trying to help these people.
We talked about having spinoffs.
But yes, I do love that. We had several different costume upgrades, and we talked about last time how we had functional costume upgrades for Dax and Glenn, because their costumes were tearing up in season 1. But we wanted her to actually look cooler, so we did not only a functional upgrade, but an artistic upgrade to her costume.
Just a little more time.
And we should point out that there's no after credit scene on this one, but our further special thanks to Father Dagan, Grandmother, we are coming. We always have the little bit of the something at the end of each season 1 and season 2. So our season 2 kind of tagline was special thanks to Father Dagan, Grandmother, we are coming, which obviously comes from this episode.
What was season 1's?
I think it had to do with the 1001.
Yeah, special thanks to the 1,000 young. Yeah. the 1,000 young that were coming. All right, so that is our behind the scenes review of this episode. We ought to see if other people, like one Sunday or something like that, we could do the same thing, because we had the idea of talking about the cultists, but we should, some people may want to watch through like this with other actors and things like that, some of the episodes, and provide their commentary. That could be fun. Okay, let me take that down. And then I'm going to give Rob his question.
Rob, you're doing it.
I did it. Yep. But Left Spin wants to know, Dax, how did you get interested in screenwriting and acting?
Well, screenwriting goes back, in a way, to childhood. I remember I played with my toys as a kid, not like it was just playtime, but like I was making a movie.
I used to do that too.
You did it too.
Well, for me, it was always narrative. I was inspired mostly by shows, though. But yes, because I watched a lot of
Yeah. I remember I watched Ed, Edd n Eddy as a kid. It was my favorite cartoon, and so I would enact fictional episodes of Ed, Edd n Eddy with my toys, and then it branched off into completely new things. I would take Bionicles, and I wouldn't play Bionicle with it. I actually have never seen those Bionicle movies. I just used those Bionicle toys to write my own fantasy lore.
That's so cool.
It was never anything like I actually wrote down, but as a kid, it was there in my imagination. And so once I became a teenager, I started actually writing stuff down. I wrote some short stories that I submitted to an art school. I didn't get accepted in the art school, but nonetheless, it was a teaching moment for me of like what works and what doesn't. And so, yeah, I took a creative writing class in college, and yeah, I've been tweaking those skills more and more, and it's time for me to finally step up and show people what I can do.
Awesome.
But as far as he asked about acting as well, now acting, I actually started out as a production assistant. That was my very first thing I did with a film. It was the movie Inheritance with Simon Pegg, which is on Netflix now. And I was a production assistant for that. And I'm so thankful for a friend, Brian Wyatt. He got the job for me there. And if it wasn't for him, I wouldn't have realized like sort of the Facebook community that is out there for finding jobs in film. So I was able to find listings like yours, Heath. You know, I saw an advertisement saying, hey, you know, we're doing this thing called the Cultists. If you want to audition, it's at the Hoover Library. And yeah, I found you guys not terribly long after doing production assistant stuff and then background acting stuff. I did a lot of background acting jobs shortly after I got the PA stuff. Yeah.
Les Ben says, Dax, thank you for that explanation. A friend of mine went to UCLA for screenwriting.
Oh, that was my dream.
That's one of the tough ones, man.
That was my dream.
So none of us actually went to school for any of this, right? And we're trying to get into all of this now.
I almost did, and someone discouraged me from it. And yeah, I haven't regretted that yet. I just want to say, I just think it's so cool, Dax. I don't know that I've met anyone yet that has described a similar way of play style as a kid, or anyone that's admitted it. And I've always thought I was really weird because, like,
I thought I was weird too.
Yeah, like I have this memory once of like a game that a lot of girls especially like to play. They call it House, where it's like, okay, be the mommy, I be the daddy, blah 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 blah. And I was like, okay, but then I think I remember asking this one time. I was like, can we like have there be an ending? Like, story, so we can have us, then we can just start the sequel. And they just stared at me like, what? That was just how I thought. My games were always narrative.
I was terrible to play with other kids. I was awful because I distinctly remember we were playing with dinosaurs in class, and like the kid was not playing with them the way I wanted him to. I was like, this needs to go a certain direction. Yeah. Yeah.
Man.
Cthulhu Bob says, what's wrong with being weird? But, you know, I used to tell my mom that's what I was doing. Don't worry, I'm just being weird. And she's, but not in public.
I'm excited for more Cultists. I'm excited for whenever you're airing another episode in one of these live streams, I will be in the chat. I will be watching. If I'm not being interviewed, I will be watching.
Well, if you want to be back for the live stream, this is fantastic. The after party next week, we can do that too. Heather appreciates everything.
I can't promise it. I do have a schedule now, but like I will try to be in the chat at least. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'll invite you. I'll send you the link.
Yeah. Invite me.
So Heather says, let's take a moment to all admire the collection behind Dax.
What all is in your collection, Dax? I mean, I'm not asking you to name every single
lot of Harry Potter. A lot of Harry Potter books, and then a lot of Guinness World Record books.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you got quite a movie collection there too. That's nice.
Oh yes, big fan.
Brianna, you want to talk about the story your story writing recently?
Oh, I don't want to talk about the story itself, but I want to go back to that topic of film school because one of the things that's been like a major focus for me, especially I would say the past 6 months, 8 months or so. I've been like going really deep into teaching myself a lot more. And it's interesting because the person that discouraged me from going to film school, that was a long time ago. That was more than a decade ago. And he was like, yeah, you can learn. It depends on what you're trying to learn. But I think as a director and as a screenwriter, I feel like largely what you can learn, what you need to learn, you can learn by reading and watching and studying.
And doing, yeah.
And doing, that's the most important part is actually doing it. So yeah, I've been pretty amazed even at like how much and how fast I've been learning. Just
that, yeah, I'm kind of feeling the same thing right now. I mean, you're obviously further ahead than me. You've done this cultist stuff already. You've got something on the resume to show. But you know, I'm feeling what you're feeling, is what I'm saying.
But you said you do not regret going to film school?
I don't. I've it's something that I've thought about a lot where I'm like, should I have done that? But especially now, because I don't think it took me a long time to, like, I'll be honest, like it took me a long time to realize how much I didn't know. Like I had a sort of I didn't realize how much I still needed to learn. It was honestly while we were filming the second season of The Cultists that I realized how much more I had to learn. So I've been fixing that. I'm working on it. But yeah.
Well, Les Ben says doing can be worth a lot more than reading about it. Well, that's kind of what I was thinking when I tried to start organizing all of this, is that let's actually try to actually do some stuff.
What I learned is that, like, there's a whole community of people. I mean, maybe not in every state, maybe there's a little bit of luck involved with it, but like here in Alabama, like there is a film community. And so if you tell people, hey, I have this idea for a story, does anybody want to come and collaborate? Like, there are people who will collaborate for free because they want to practice their skills at what they want to do. You know,
there's always people. Everywhere. Yeah.
And I was hoping to be able to release more of my stories as I was like starting relatively soon, but then I got feedback that's like, okay, don't do that. They're not ready yet. So I'm having to separate. So I decided to separate the story writing from the world development from the RPG perspective, because I need to move forward with something. And so if the story is not quite ready yet, then okay, the world building can be ready for the purposes of games and things like that. So that's what I'm thinking about doing soon. Well, I think that was a very successful live stream. I really enjoyed that. I really love talking about the show with you guys. I think hopefully we will get to do that again, and maybe we should invite some other people on and maybe like do a whole show review.
If any of the other cast or crew are free, it'd be fun, because it's all, you know, whoever's coming is bringing a different perspective. So
exactly, and they remember different things about what happened at the during the shooting and stuff like that. Well, I think we'd be out of here. Bye, everybody.